Never fucking stopped you before. Come on.
Hello, I am Lucas Mandetta. I'm very happy to be here. Come on, you guys.
Hello and welcome back to West Ham Network this Wednesday evening, Thursday morning for the man to my left. I've got it right though. Look. Kieran, how are you, sir?
Good, mate. Lovely cloudy day this morning, sir.
Oh, really?
Nice and cloudy, which is good sitting out here. Happy.
All right, okay. Cool.
Nice, lovely weather again, as usual. Beautiful Monday, perfect. You know the rules. But yeah, all good.
All right, excellent. No shark attacks, no crocodile attacks, no?
No, mate, I think we did have a different one this week. We had a dingo attack somewhere.
Ooh.
Just seen the subtitle there on one of the news reports, and it says a dingo had attacked someone. So yeah, the sharks and the crocs had a day off, had a week off, and the dingoes are getting involved now.
You know, mate, you're going to be having people carried off by fucking murders of them crows or whatever they're called. Magpies, that's it. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, so it's been quite an eventful week, really, isn't it? Well,
hasn't it, son? That fucking game of the weekend.
I know. We'll talk about that in a minute, Kieran. Let's just have a look at some of the comments. Paul saying that West Ham will get no points for the next 3 games. So the title of it is how many points must Lopetegui get? Not how many do you think we're going to get? How many do you
Well, that's right. There's 2 different ways to that question. How many does he need to probably survive at this stage? Or how many do you actually think? That's 2 different questions, isn't it?
Yeah. So Paul's thinking that we won't get any. Mark, good evening to you as well, sir. With regards to the title question, 1 or 3, maybe 4 at the top. In before happy again. Hello, but everyone is doing well. Think 6 points should be what we aim for, because if our home and away record does not improve, then Lopetegui will be dismissed. Yeah, there is that. Scott, good evening to you. 9 points, another 3 points, like some are suggesting, means we are averaging a point a game. That is absolutely terrible and will put us in a relegation battle, I agree. Also, Randy again, also this curse does not happen at West Ham to begin with. If we appointed the right head coach, that us fans could all get behind with a style that is good to watch, including the right signings. I think we have made a few good signings, though, to be fair, Randy. Ultimately, Sullivan is the one responsible for the curse. We'll get into the Sullivan debate later, maybe. There is nothing wrong with fans wanting a better style of football with the right head coach and being able to achieve Europe, because Emery at Villa shows you can get it all right. Get it right. Agreed. Rob, good evening to you. 3 or 4 points seems realistic at the moment. Minimum expected with good performances and effort. For all to see. If nothing else in games we don't win, that's what we want to see. Agreed. Good evening to you, Brendan. Evening, Brendan, Kieran, Budgie, Chatty, and Kieran. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'll get it right. 16 pickup truck out of money, out of luck, had to lay down the line for the passing of Paul Diano. Right, well, there's another song lyric I'm not going to get into right now. All right, Brendan, how you doing? Good evening, usual. Hope you're cheers. Evening to Brendan, Randy, Brendan, all talking amongst each other, lovely stuff. Mark Watson, sure you must get the balance of the side right with Kudus now out. Yeah, well, that's the thing we'll talk about a little bit later as well. Tyler, we're seeing if anyone else is in the chat yet. There isn't really many other. Oh, be careful what you wish for a seat. Remember that he told us all to be careful. Ian Bartram, good evening to you. Thank you. Nice introduction. Yeah, thanks. I just threw that together this week. Serif, evening guys. Hope you're both good. Very well, thank you. Michael, good evening to you, sir. Ex-potential anger. Good evening to you, buddy. Will Doyle is in the house. Stuart Burt, James Bong. Lynn Cannell, good evening to you, Lynn. What a mess our club seems to be in again. Yes, indeed. Ian R. Good
Wouldn't have it any other way, mate. Wouldn't have it any other way, mate. Just something to talk about.
Yeah. Right. So Saturday's game, Kieran. Saturday's game last week.
Yeah, mate. It wasn't a bad start, mate. I didn't mind this first half, even if they were sort of dominating the game. It's what I said had to happen. I don't think we've done enough of it. We needed to try and play counter-attack football.
Yeah.
We needed to sit deep and defend well.
Yeah.
And did we? No. In the end, we didn't, did we?
No.
We conceded fucking 4 goals against them, which could, another day would have been 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really disappointing. It weren't nothing I didn't expect. So, I predicted we'd lose 3-0. So, I didn't expect us to win this game. I just knew that Tottenham, with their pace and the way they press you and come at you. So, I was quite pleased that we survived the first half and scored. That was a plus. But there wasn't much there in the second half. There weren't a lot to be cheery about.
Yeah.
And then Kudus going into, God, he got himself sent off 3 times, and I'm starting to worry with Kudus now, because that's whatever it's going to be. It's 3 games minimum, probably 6. We're losing him, okay, but more so, if you go back to the reports of him having a bust up with him at half time, and he took him off at half time, and then you come to this, and that was pure frustration. All 3 of them incidents, that was him just losing his head. That weren't a good tackle where he, got it wrong and fucking took his knee out. That was just pathetic. It was trying to get sent off. And that worried me with where his head is. So now your creative players now is him and Paquetá. Well, Paquetá can't kick a ball at the moment, and he's out for fucking the next month, 2 months. Who knows?
Yeah. Now, okay, so that now means that either Paquetá. Hang on 1 second. Shut up, you. Go and lay down. Go on, go and lay down. Fucking dog. That now means that Paquetá, or Somerville now has to go out on the left. He can't be put in.
Yeah.
Kudus out there. So, I've got a funny feeling that he's actually going to go with Paquetá. I really do.
I'm a bit bewildered by some of the things he does, so I don't know what to do. It could work for Somerville's advantage if he gets the nod. He could stamp, that position of his own. He could make the difference out there. Well, we want someone to grab that position and say, "Look, this is mine," and it could be his chance. It could work that way. But we've got a lot more problems than just that left now. The way things are looking, it's just so. The midfield in there is so slow, and you're coming up against quick teams like Tottenham. In the next game, Man United, man, they've got fucking pace all over the place.
And be careful, Des. Without Alvarez, the midfield is dead. It just seems to be no idea. It seems to be clueless.
No. I just think it takes more than Alvarez. Alvarez isn't enough.
No,
I take Guido, mate. He's one of the players I'm going, why did we buy this player? That first half, I thought he was really, really good. You know, I know he dropped Alvarez for it, and I'm like, hang on, maybe he sees something, you know, the way he plays, that it works better. And in the first half, he was good, but then when it all came on, it weren't working. I mean, you see Postecoglou half time, man. That was a brave call, dragging Maddison off. But it changed it for Tottenham. They were more attacking, they were more up front. Kudus was pushed further up front, and all of a sudden, that boy's been, he's improved Kulusevski, Postecoglou. And so pushing him further forward, he was tearing as a new one.
I mean, apart from the obvious choice of, you know, Son, I think Kulusevski is the one player at Tottenham that I would love to have at West Ham. You know?
Well, like I said last year, I thought he was a bit hit and miss. When he's good, he's good. And then he was. This season, he seems to be getting
incredibly good. He has. Just want to acknowledge that there are quite a few other faces in the chat, including Happy and Lauren and
Lawrence,
James Lamprey,
James E.
Bongo. Hang on, I missed him. There he is. Bongo. Andrew is in the house. Hang on, I've already said hello to that. Colin, good evening to you, Colin. Now, Colin, you actually got a network prize due to you. So if you can email me, I'll stick the email address up on the. In fact, why don't you email the network? There you go. If you email the network direct, either Anton or Russ will reply to you and send you your prize. Okay. Basically, what happened was I won a prize, and I said I wanted to hand it back in, and you were the next name out. So it's your prize. It's not right for me to win prizes, I don't think. Anyway, there you go.
I'll fucking have them. I'll have it. Well, you sent it to me, you fucker. Yeah, never mind that one. Yeah. I've never had nothing off this network. What's going on?
All right, I'll get him to send you a cup.
No, I don't want one now. I'm salty.
But anyway, I'll leave that on the screen. So, basically, any requests or anything for merchandise or anything, there's the email address. But Colin, please contact them. And, jobs are good.
Yeah, get a nice mug, mate. More than I've ever had.
Yeah, I think it is a mug, actually, mate, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Damien's in the house as well. Damien DeMarco. Mandy's in the house. Lynn. There you go. There's Damien. Happy seems to be a bit quiet. Dick Turpin. Wouldn't give him 3 minutes, not games. Get rid of. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm getting a bit fed up with him. I've got to be honest. Gary J's in the house. Trini Hammer. I'm getting a bit fed up with him. I've got to be honest. I've got to,
Everyone's a bit frustrated at the moment. I don't see it. I mean, I said I'd always give him 10 games. Really, realistically, you should give him 11 now because it's 11 games before that international break to see that. But if I was asked at this moment in time, after the 8 Premier League games, I'd go, I can't see this guy working. I can't see him improving this team. I can't see it being a good move for West Ham to keep on.
We have to also appreciate that. Good evening to you, Simon. Thank you for joining us, mate. We've also got to appreciate that he's had 2 international breaks in between working with us.
Still, Geezer, you still got to see some improvement, and I don't see it.
You've got to see some improvement, but I mean, in his defence, that's not helped his cause at all.
Yeah, but every other manager's got that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not giving him any excuse today. He's got to make us look like there's some progress. I don't see it. What I'm saying, I ain't giving it to him now. And for me, for him to turn it around, these next 3 games are completely crucial because instead of what most teams do, wait till Christmas, they might see this international break. If he loses the next 3 games, I might think this is the time to do now. it might be best to go now, you know, to give us a chance. So I'd like to think that they've got someone in mind. That's the other problem with that, because you can't trust Sullivan to pick the right person. And, you know, if he's got, I think he's got a massive say in Lopetegui. I don't think it's anything to do with Stein. But I don't know if he'd even got another one lined up. And it's got to be someone good, man. It's got to be a younger, progressive manager for me to work. This guy, it's always seemed to be too Moyes-like. But I was never going to knock him, because you never know. He might come in and do great things. But at the moment, he's not. I think his arse is in the slings already.
Yeah.
And I don't think when we wish for something better, I'm not sure Lopetegui was in the top of my fucking list. I'll tell you that.
No, I didn't even know anything about the man, really, other than the fact that he'd been at Wolves. You know, I knew his name because he'd been at Wolves. And then I looked into him and I thought, well, he don't look so bad. I was actually quite positive about it when he came in. I'm not so positive anymore.
It's
like you said, it's about seeing progress, and I've seen very little progress. In fact, Ariola's gone downhill.
Yeah. Get rid of him. I'll get rid of him tomorrow. Fucking rubbish. You know, I've always said about the good goalkeepers, guys. I've seen it all over the years with Lloris or De Gea or Pickford. You might not think they're the greatest keepers in the world, but they make saves that other keepers don't, and they win you points. It's as simple as that. I'm not seeing that from Areola now. He's not making any of them saves he might well have done last year at stages. Yeah, he's not pulling up. I think he could have saved a couple against Tottenham, but he didn't. And I'm not knocking him for not, but good top keepers do pull up that save they're not meant to. You see it every week with Martinez at Villa. You know, he seems to be getting worse. I'd have Fabianski in next week. I really would. I don't think he's on.
I'd have Fodrington in.
Like so, it looks like now we've got really two top number 2 goalkeepers, and we need a fucking first team goalkeeper. That's what he looks like at the moment.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm not going to knock fucking Areola over it, because he's got a lot to deal with as well in front of him, because we're shipping goals again. We paid all this money on the back 4 or back 3, you know, last year, and my God, we're still shipping goals.
Yeah.
So something's not working, man.
Yeah. Lawrence agrees with you. 4-0 is a better player than Rodriguez. I think he looks extremely average from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I mean, at the moment,
he's been getting better. He's been getting better and better.
He has been getting better, but is he the answer? Was that a great buy? Like I said, if he still had 4 hours, but you know that's not Lopetegui's fault. The 4 hours ain't there. But this guy in there, and then you got Soler. I don't know what he is. I don't know what kind of player he is. I really don't know. Bowen looked good and lively in that, you know, that first half. That was a bonus. And so we're still after all these years, guys. How many strikers we bought? And there's Antonio still up front for it.
And still, we keep talking about the next striker. Yeah. And we've just got one, and he's just gone off to Germany to go and get some treatment. So I wonder what treatment he can get in Germany that he can't get here. I suppose having his family around him might help him for his leg injury. Look, stop bugging me, Dov. Fuck off. Go on. Go away. Yeah, where was I? Right, Colin saying, I thought even after the Chelsea game, I thought it was never get better, and it's working out that way. It hasn't a clue. I am hearing even players are not happy about that.
Yeah. Look, it's not easy to get a manager right. It isn't. I mean, even if you see Glasner, that last half of last season at Palace, my God, I thought they were the best team in the league. And I think that form-wise, they were. You know, they had that run into the end of the season, and my God, they were brilliant. But he lost Elise, he lost Anderson, the centre half, and even Ayew. You know, he lost 3 players out the door, and my God, now Palace look like a bag of shit. They look horrendous. Now, is that the manager, or is it because they sold, 2 of their best players?
Yeah.
And them 2 players are making a massive difference at Palace, and they look like fucking relegation fodder. So is that the manager, or is it just he don't have the tools to do the job? Has Lopetegui got a thing, a point to say, well, yeah, you backed me with players, but they're not the players I wanted? Has he got that argument? That this is Steintons fucking players, He could say Rodriguez. Kilman's not. We know Kilman was one of his. But what all them other players, because this is the system we've got now, he brings in the players, you work with them. Yeah. Has he got that excuse now to say, well, I didn't want them players? I don't know. You can see that happening down the road. Him pulling that one out of the bag. Can only deal with what I got. Can see that one happening.
Can't believe we've left up some part of this.
I know.
Yeah, blame Sullivan, exactly. Ian, good point. The fact that we are still relying on Antonio is bordering on negligence from everyone.
It's mental, isn't it? I can't even blame Antonio there, mate, because he's still there because we haven't got a striker in there yet. This one can't even get fit to replace him. We've tried it with Skamaka. We've tried it with Batley. He seems to have survived all them. We've tried throwing Bowen up there. To me, that doesn't work. And now we've got old Fulkrug who can't fucking get off the physio's table. So Antonio must think, what's going on here, mate? I should be sitting on the bench and just coming on for the last 25 minutes, but no.
No, I'll go and do 3,500 miles each way to go and play for Jamaica, and then I'll come back and try and look like I'm ready. Fucking poor bloke. Poor bloke, mate. I feel sorry for Antonio.
I'll be careful there. Are they his players? They're just because they speak Spanish? I don't know, me. It's up to the air now. Whose players are what? Even Sullivan, did he ever say in a couple of them? I don't know.
Who's your mate that? Oh, man.
Oh, here he is. Frightening. Fucking frightening.
Yeah. Lynn saying we need a striker. Midfield's too slow. Puts a strain on our defence, absolutely. Ian says he don't blame Antonio in the strike. It's always 50%. But no can do. Do it half an hour at a time. It's probably about right.
You can't knock him, man. He's just he's there and he's available when he tries. Tries his heart out, mate. But we should have upgraded by now, surely, in the last 3-4 years, mate.
Good evening, Essex photographer. We sell the young and buy the old. That's the West Ham Sullivan way. We have no chance of a young progressive manager finding a balanced team with pace. It's just a pipe dream.
Yes, I mean, that's right, mate. I mean, really, when you look, I know Fulkrug has had a couple of good seasons, but come on, he's 31 years of age, and pre his last couple of years, right? He has a list of injuries, and then we buy him, and then we've done it like, and then next thing he's injured again. Jesus, fuck. Now it's either bad luck or we haven't done our due diligence about him. And it's money down the pisser.
Hey, look, old man, you saying he looks frightening. No checking mirrors,
Yeah. Mate, it does scare me enough, old man, but fucking looking at you scares me worse.
Yeah. But look, Troy says, I wish we'd kept Hugill. Usual thing.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Walsh would be happy. He would have been happy. That was his man.
Yeah. It's not happy camp behind the scenes. Blame game. He won't make Christmas. Fulkrug cost 2.7 Hugill. Good evening, Luke Legend. What's that pension top-up program? Couldn't understand West Ham signing if they had already had one of the first choice. Okay, I never knew that.
Right.
A question, Kieran and Budgie. What are your realistic expectations for West Ham this season and in the near future? Well, my realistic expectation.
Yeah, but Budge, what were they at the beginning of the season? What were they at the beginning of the season, and what are they? Have they changed from 8 games? Because mine hasn't. Right. I expect us to finish between 10th and 12th this season, but I was hoping to see football that I was going to enjoy on the pitch. With that, I wasn't bothered about where we finish in the league and do well in the cup. So my expectations haven't really changed.
Right.
My expectations of this manager have changed. So I expected him to do well. Well, hoping that he'd do well. But he's not. And I don't think it changes. I think if he has 3 bad results in the next 3 games, we might see someone else. And then that'll get us up the table. I don't believe relegation is going to be an issue. I really don't. I think there's enough bad teams there, Southampton and Wolves, even Palace. You know, I don't see any problem with that. But I do expect to still finish 12th at worst.
Yeah. Good evening, Wasim. Thank you for joining, buddy. Trod said 12 to 14th, now swaying towards 14th. No more pragmatism, please. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit fed up with that, Mark, that's for sure. We'd had enough of that already.
Yeah. Brendan's been in top 20.
I think we can manage that, Brendan. Should be all right, eh?
Yeah. Paquetany's dropping as he's been liability losing ball in transition, which really does kill us as they straight out back to as wing backs on the pitch. So, which is why I'd play a 3-5-2, because I think that would eliminate that problem.
When this Turks was mentioned the other day, when Gonzo came out, I watched Gio's reaction, and I heard Gio say enough to tell me, nah, he ain't the geezer we want. I don't care. I think we should stay well away from him. Right? That's just more fucking heartache down the road, I think. But I'm only going by what Gio said, so, but I seem to trust his opinion.
You know what I would like to see? I'd like West Ham to approach Will Still, get him his badges, and then bring him in.
I don't know the answer. It's very hard to pick. I know what my answer always has been Ange Postecoglou. Right? I don't give a fuck. I don't care where we finish in the league. I'm going to enjoy watching it every week. But I'll tell you what, though, we wouldn't have bought the players we would if we did have Postecoglou. They would definitely not fit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Look, even Gary saying, look, I don't think we'll be in a relegation scrap. We just seem to be beating things that we should be beating.
Yeah, Gary, I think that's right. I must say, we beat Ipswich, but come on, it was Ipswich. They're a championship side. Yeah. Good little side. You know, I like Ipswich. I like the way they try and play football. I like that Delap up front's good for them. But they're a championship level side. And that's why there should be an issue.
Yeah.
When we played Tottenham and we played Chelsea, we're talking top 6 sides, and it showed that we were nowhere near.
See, now that ain't a bad shout either, Trudge. Andy Irvine, bring him back. Bring back COVID football. Andrew says, can see Sullivan going to Southgate. He's currently out of work.
Fucking hell, Andrew. Don't.
With me,
yeah,
too.
fucking hell, boys.
If I brought Southgate in, I'd go and buy a Crawley Town shirt tomorrow. Yeah. With this team and how they're playing, I would have no clue what formation will be effective. Zero chemistry on the pitch. Yeah, that is fairly true, mate. Will Steele would be good as an assistant first. Terzic was assistant at Dortmund before getting appointed. Yeah, I don't know. I think Will Steele, he was smashing it in Germany, wasn't he? 8 games in 1-2, drawn 2, lost 4. With a -4 goal deficit, not exactly what everyone was expecting. Nothing like it.
Well, you sort of yes and no. It's not the points on the board and the losses, or I would have accepted them losses. I mean, some of it was Chelsea, it was Tottenham, it was Man City. You know, I'll accept some of them losses. It was Villa, you know, 4th in the league last year. I can accept them losses, but how we lost, I think, is the worrying part. If we'd given them all a good game, then I'd take it and go, you know, I'd be more up for it, say, I'm not worried about the points.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tottenham second half, that was fucking horrendous. At Chelsea, they walked through that will.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, these games, better finishing from both sides would have been a lot more. Now, you've got to remember, we got away with murder last year against Tottenham when they absolutely destroyed us and we nicked the game off them. And but we had some luck that day, and we finished well.
Yeah.
This no, we didn't. I mean, we got a goal. That was good. That was it.
Get Alan Devonshire in.
I don't think he's up for it, Lawrence. I don't think he's into it, mate. Would I have? I'd be delighted to hear his name come back to West Ham. I'd be over the moon. But I'm not sure he's up for that.
Will Steele's a bit young, says Damien. I think he benefited massively of speaking English and French and being able to get some good quality Premier League players on loan. Balogun, for example. Balogun. Potential. Loppy's only on a 2-year deal anyway. If you're going to replace him this soon, all that shows is that you got it very wrong, which is exactly what Sullivan will want to avoid. He's going nowhere. It says that's potential. Good point there, mate.
What if we turned up for the next 3 games and beat all 3? This is how football can change. He could get this Kudus, being suspended. He might set up differently, and all of a sudden it works. Then your mentality is shit. Well, especially Sullivan's mentality. If we win the next 3 games, he ain't sacking him. I think even if we lose 2 of them games, he ain't sacking him. But if you lose all 3 or win all 3, it changes the whole perspective. If he loses all 3, that Sullivan has a reason to sack him, whether he will, whether he won't is another thing.
Right.
But if he won all 3, but won them well, everything changes. Then you can say, well, this is why you give a manager time.
Yeah.
Is it hard to see that, Budge? Yes, it is. It really is.
This comment here, I want to come to it. It says play Todibo at centre deep. That's a central defensive midfield to add speed and bring Mavropanos back in for the aerial strength and speed at the back also. I personally think that Todibo would play better in the back 4 or back 3. So that's what I'm saying. Why not a 3-5-2 or 3-5-1-1? But if you're going to bring Mavropanos in, for me, you put Mavropanos right back, you put Wan-Bissaka out on the right wing, and you put
that's my problem, Budge. I don't believe Wan-Bissaka is not a wing back. He's a really good right back. Yeah. I think going forward, you get more out of Soufal than you do Wan-Bissaka. He's never been great at putting crosses in, good at getting down the line, but the end product's always been missing from Wan-Bissaka. That's why he's not still playing in the top big team. This is what I worry about. As a right back, mate, I think he's been a great buy and progressing the ball forward. But as a wing back, I don't think he is a wing back.
Yeah.
I think Soufal's more of a wing back than he is. I know Wan-Bissaka's a better player than Soufal, and he's a better choice to have as right back. I just worry about that playing him as wing back, that you don't get what you need.
Ian says, I'm not one for chopping managers, but I don't see this improving. My real worry is the longer this goes on, the less attractive we are to current players, and new managers and players could set us back years. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's the worry, man.
Andrew says he would test Fulham's resolve for Silva. He's really stepped up and looks like a top draw manager now. He's been doing very well at Fulham, I must agree. I just want results, says Damien. Not worried about style of play. Missing Carer now has always said he'd do a sensible CDM role. Results over the style of play every day of the week.
Ooh.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Totally don't pay for managers. Expertise says that's also a possibility. This team has every chance of becoming the team we saw on paper in the summer. Tough start to the season on reserving judgment.
Yeah.
All three teams coming off the back of a win, Kieran.
Yeah, true. And I've also, especially the Everton, when everyone was panicking about Everton, I was watching them and they were scoring goals but losing games. And they've got goals in them, Everton. They really have got goals in them. And under Dyche, there's no way they're going to be part of any fucking relegation battle. They'll be fine. And they're a tough team to beat. They had a couple of bad, their defence was all over the place at the beginning of the season. Now it's a bit more solid. Not an easy game, and I agree. All three are tough games to win. I think the one team that's really impressed me has been Forest. Forest are decent, man. They play good football. And they're missing, even missing Gibbs White at the weekend, they had a win. And he's a big loss for them. Yeah. But, mate, he knows that he's a good manager, that old. Even though he failed sort of at Tottenham, he's a good manager, mate. Gets the best out of some of them young players. And they're a decent team, man.
But then it shouldn't really surprise us, though, Kieran, really, should it? That Notts Forest are picking up and becoming a force to be reckoned with. Because look how they were back in the day. I mean, they were European Cup winners 2 years running, weren't they? You know?
Yeah, just looking at their team, there's no sort of superstar. Gibbs White could be a future star, superstar, but he's injured. But there's no sort of superstars in that team, but my word, they give it all. Really oh, fuck yeah. They chase everything goes up. And they play some good football.
What was his name? The lad from Chelsea they picked up. The double-barreled surname.
Hudson-Odoi?
Hudson-Odoi, yeah. Now, I've always rated him, Kieran. I thought he was a decent player at Chelsea.
He's decent. Not magnificent, but decent.
No. But they've got improved because he's getting game time and he's playing alongside players that are looking up to him as being one of the top boys because he's come from Chelsea. So therefore he's carrying a bit of street credibility around Rob.
Oh, he's got all the experience in the world.
Absolutely. Up to it though, that's what I'm saying. He really has stepped up to the mark.
Yeah, I still think it's
wonderfully.
I still think he's where he should be, but he's doing well for them. Chris Woods, geezer. I remember Chris Woods playing here in the A-League.
Yeah.
Right, that boy, he works hard. There's a big lump of a centre forward, right, that you can rely on. It gives them problems. He misses loads of chances as well, yet he keeps scoring goals as well. You know what I mean? He should score more than he does, but he gets opportunities to score. And he's doing great for him. He's one of the top scorers in the league, isn't he? This season.
Yeah. The guy at Porto, I can't remember his name now, though. Yeah, apparently there's been some good stuff written about him. But the thing is, is a Champions League team manager going to want to come to a team struggling to get in the top 10 of their league? Not likely. And we are struggling to get into the top 10. No doubt. I think my dog's desperate to go to the toilet. Do you want to waffle on for a couple of minutes while I just run him out the front?
Yeah, mate.
All right, I'll...
What's that not bit? No.
I'll just leave that comment on there because then I'll know where I am when I come back. I'll only be a minute. Come on, dickhead.
Yes, yeah, that's like hoping for 85 million for Paquetá, isn't it? I don't think either that's going to happen.
Mate,
No,
get 60 for him.
Get out the door. Stop shouting, you fucking donut.
You're lucky to get 60 for him.
Yeah, well, look, it's one of them. That show of temperament he did at the weekend was bad, man. That was fucking pure frustration. And I say, he kicked him on the floor, slapped the geezer around the head, and the next one comes in, slaps him around the head. I mean, to me, that's a player so pissed off, happy to get sent off for it. I mean, I like the passion. I love it when he goes and slaps Tottenham players. Yeah. But it didn't really help, did it? Not that it mattered at that stage of the game was done. You know? But still, it's not about that game anymore. It's about the next 3 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever he misses. That's the problem. He's not available. Whether he'd even start him or not now, I don't know. But he's not available. He's not, even if we started him in the next game on the bench, that's a player you can bring off the bench. It's pretty dynamic. It's a shame because the guy is absolute quality, and the fact that he's getting a bit of stick from his national team as well, apparently, that's a worry. Jesus Christ, it's getting it from all sides, you know. So yeah, it's and believe you me, I think at the end of this season, I always thought Kudus would be off. And I think this is a stepping stone for him, and he is a top player. But money now, it's debatable. What
you fucking idiot! Oh mate, this dog is pissing me off. Go on, get in.
His money.
Get in.
What he's worth now is what a team's prepared to pay. You know, where does he work? I think he could work in any team, I reckon, if they got the right manager for him, played him right. I've always said it with him, though. He needs to be on the right to get the best out of him. And I think that frustration is he's got no chance of playing on the right because of Bowen. And I think that's the point with him. I think that's where the frustrations come. We've got 2 cracking players that play on the right, and we can only play one of them. And the captain of West Ham is always going to get the nod. That's it.
Did you see what that idiot's doing?
What? Stop playing around with that fucking dog. Sit down.
Oh, hang on, I've left the door wide open. My apologies, everybody. Go right down, Robin.
Yeah. I'm outside, let him play with the traffic.
What the bloody hell have I done?
I've been at the RSPCA.
Hold up. What have I done?
I think what's worrying as well, but what's going on at the moment is all these little stories coming out. It's Stein and and I don't want to hear it, man. What I want to see is these players to gel on the pitch. But I can see the blame game starting, and I'll say 3 games. We lose these 3 games. His arse is in a sling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then it's about whether Sullivan's got the fucking brains or the wherewithal to either pull the trigger or stick with him. Right?
Yeah.
I think who would know? I'd say if you lose the next 3 games, you have to pull the trigger myself. And Nate.
Hello, mate. West Ham was shit this season. I hope you bring in someone though. Yeah, mate. Yeah, preferably the owners. Thank you for joining us, Anthony. I take it we'll be seeing young Tony soon then as well. Oh, there it is. Look, there it is. Oh man, says our side set up for a striker to hold up the ball. We ain't got one, so we're failing badly. The only one we've got that can do that really at the moment is Antonio, which is, you know, £8.50 for the cat. Put a bet on it. Okay, Gary,
No,
thank you.
forget a situation. There's never going to be a bid in his situation. No one wants him. There is no money. Because no one wants him with that hanging over his head.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems to me we're lacking leadership discipline because Nolan's not shadowing. Yeah, absolutely. I reckon you're probably about right there, Trudge. Trinity, he's got an 85 million release clause. What are people on? Yeah, but people, like clubs, won't even put in a bid for that kind of amount if they're not seeing what they want to see from them. And so
yes,
that release clause won't get released, won't get triggered if nobody puts a bid in anywhere near it. You know?
Regardless of how he's playing for us, if a top team see the potential there and know that he'll be a top player playing for them, they might play him. But there's only very few clubs now that are going to be spending that kind of money on one player. Very few. You know, there's only about 3 or 4 that could do it, and there's not many that will. So the chances of getting that kind of money is not going to happen.
I mean, even City are going to be reluctant to part with big money at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
With all these charges sitting over them, you know, it's not going to be easy for them. I mean, Arsenal seem to be in a decent position at the moment financially, but they just paid £105 million for Declan Rice. So I can't see them spending large amounts on any one player. You know?
I think £100 million players are going to be very rare now. Very rare. It's going to have to be, you know, there has to be a Messi, it has to be a Haaland, it has to be a geezer that, you know, guaranteed.
Yeah. No, Michael, I wasn't putting the bins out. I was bloody trying to get my dog in, the little bugger. Decided to be stupid. With Kudus, it's called being a winner. He does not like losing or mediocrity, which we have in abundance.
Yes.
Correct. Damien says that Nolan was a massive asset in the coaching staff. Showed leadership his whole career and aggressively at that.
I'd say that, Damien, you know, without being in that training field or knowing him, but just the way he speaks and how he conducted himself on the pitch, without a doubt, he is a leader. And, you'd love him around a club or around the training field.
You can see the disappointment in his face when he's on TV and they talk to him about his time at West Ham and that. You can see the disappointment on his face about being sacked or, you know, whatever. But I thought he was an asset to the leadership and to the whole club in general. It's a shame that he didn't, you know, they didn't retain him. In my opinion,
he done all right.
He's great for the club. He's been taking the piss for months now, and was allowed to get away with it. It sets us bad.
Yeah, Josh. I think you're right, Josh. I think he was so poor. Let's say you can say there are mitigating circumstances, but at the end of last season, man, he was poor, and he's continued that, and it's so disappointing. But Paquetá is one of them players I like because he gets you off your seat, as Kudus does, you know, as Bowen can do. And I love them, but when I see the demise of them, like Paquetá, it's sad, man. And I'll say, is it all about this case behind the scenes? Probably. But this manager coming in, maybe it doesn't suit him as well. That's another headache for him. And it's just, he's falling off a cliff. He's form at the moment, and it's a shame because he is so exciting when he's good. Great to watch. But we're not getting that. Yeah, we're not getting it. Yeah.
Ian says the dog looks like a nutter. Look, he's 8 years old. It's not even as if he's a bloody puppy. 8 weeks, nearly 9. He's just a fruitcake.
He's only 9 weeks.
9 years old.
What, he's 9 years old? Okay.
Yeah. He's not even
He
a
won't
pup.
be long. Might as well get rid of him. Too old.
But Bowen is not captain material. I said that all along. We should be more vocal. Also, could Paul Kudus away and gave him a talking to. That is what a captain does. Can you imagine what Bonzo would have done? Absolutely. And can you imagine what Mark Noble would have done?
Yeah, I think Noble would have been perfect in that situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really.
I think him and Lucas Neal, he was a great captain as well.
Yeah, he was. But having said that, I think even if before you got to that melee, he'd already done the damage. You know what I mean? He'd already kicked the boy and then slapped him across the head. Before he stopped him hitting the other geezer, the damage was done. For one sending off anyway. But the trouble is, for him to be allowed to carry on, slap the other geezer, means you could be getting more than a 3-match ban. It could be 6. And that's definitely, I think Noble would have been in there. Then again, he might have got sent off himself. No, but he might have managed to slap someone here off.
But, do we think Loppy and Steiden could both go? In fact, I don't think any of them are going anywhere until at least after Christmas. So. And then it will probably won't be either of them going.
Well, my guess will be one of them won't be here at Christmas. That'll be my guess.
Who do you reckon's going to cop the needle then? Eh? Who do you reckon will cop it then?
Well, like I said, I didn't want to judge this boy till 10 games in. But these next 3 games are crucial, and I think if we have bad results in these next 3 games, Loppy will be gone.
Yeah.
My worry is we don't have anything lined up to replace him. That's the concern. I don't see where we go. And like I said, you don't want a firefighter manager for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, just might as well write the season off.
Yeah.
Trini
says if they don't bid for him, meaning Kudus, then he stays here. Win-win in my book. Unless, of course, Trini does what Payet did and refused to play. Or play badly even. That would be even worse. If he starts giving the ball away and shit like that because he's not happy. You know, some of these players, you've got to remember, as much as we love them, they could still be a big prima donna in their, in their private lives. Randy agrees with you. He thinks Lopetegui won't be here by Christmas. Wisely. I think Kudus is ball greedy, doesn't like to pass 20 yards from goal. Man sheet, he would be the last place I would want Kudus to go. Yeah. Maybe that's the only chance Kudus. There's a poor season. Let's have a look. Scroll down. Payet was much older than Kudus and did not have all the all-round ability that Kudus has. That is true, Trini, but I'm talking about mentality. I'm not really talking about playing ability or their age, really. I mean, I'm still as fucking childish as I was 25 years ago. So, with your age, I just think that Kudus is very highly strung, like Payet was highly strung. That's where I'm kind of talking about. Tony's not well. He's got a sore throat. Too much shouting at the TV, watching the Tottenham game. Yeah, bless his cotton. He sounded like Barry White earlier. Really funny. I haven't seen the behind the scenes yet. Maybe there are 3 or 4 world-class players in Premier League.
Yeah, I agree with that, Trini. I agree with that. I think that word's thrown around too much these days.
I think they're probably a handful, like maybe 6 to 8 world-class players. I think, if you put Haaland into a German side, for example,
Well, he did. He scored shitloads.
No, I'm talking about.
He already done it. He already done it.
I'm talking about the German national team.
Look, I don't believe Haaland's a world-class player, right? But he is a world-class finisher. And there's a difference. You know, when I see De Bruyne, he is world-class. I see Bernardo Silva at Chelsea, he's world-class. That guy is unbelievable, especially at his age now. The shit he does, the work he puts in, the positions he takes up, the setup play he does. World-class, right?
That's not
Bernardo
Silva.
Huh?
That's not Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, it is. That's the one that's there now. No, that's it. Bernardo Silva, that's it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
and
I know that.
He's one of my favourite players I've seen in the Premier League. He doesn't get all the plaudits because you've got the likes of Haaland score the goals and De Bruyne setting the load up as well. And you've had Gundogan, Mahrez. Look, the guy, if you ever watch his performance as a midfielder, he pulls to the right, he goes to the middle, he goes to the left, he tracks back. He's unbelievable. His little first-time touches, the setups he does, the assists he gets. So he's an absolute world-class player. But Haaland will get all the headlines when he starts scoring. Now, I watched that Wolves game that Wolves lost in the last minute. I watched the whole game, Man City Wolves the weekend. Dawson had Haaland in his pocket all game. Haaland never touched the ball. He never touched the ball, mate. Never had anything. Dawson was good.
I'm saying Dawson, at the age that he is, he's still a top draw defender. Almost.
He's a top draw defender when you're defending like Moyes used like to do with 10 men behind the ball, and that's what Wolves are doing. And Dawson, he rises to that occasion. It suits him under pressure, winning headers, making blocks, keeping tight to that centre forward. If you want to be a centre half, you have to be able to come up to the halfway line and ping balls left and right and chase back and win the ball. That's a different. You've got them tactics. You need a different type of centre half. That doesn't suit Dawson. Otherwise, balls come over the top of him. He's going to get the pass.
I mean,
there is a difference.
You couldn't put Dawson into a Man City or a Liverpool side or something.
I don't think so. Myself, no. You'd still get the same effort from him. That's for sure. That'll never change. 100% effort.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Mm.
But I do agree with Trini like that the world class tag does get thrown on players that maybe it shouldn't. I've never believed. Here's one for you. You've already called him it. Declan Rice to me is not a world class player. He's a fucking good midfielder. I'd never called him world class. I never believed he was. A lot of West Ham fans did, and I don't agree with it. I don't think he is.
Yeah.
And Bournemouth showed that. Well done. But Anthony's in there, wasn't he? Anthony was there. Well done, Bournemouth. What a win that was, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Quite right to send it off the.
But I think, there are a good handful of world-class players around the Premier League.
Right there.
I actually believe that Lopetegui is world-class. I hate to say it.
No, I don't know.
I think he is.
He's not. I don't think he is, but I think he's in world-class form. There's another difference. You know what I mean? You can have Payet that season. Now, whether we call Payet a world-class player, right? Maybe not over his career. But that season, Geezer, that was world-class. He had a world-class year that was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I loved it. I thought he was the best player I've seen in a West Ham shirt for that season. But did he do that all over his career? Probably not. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come to West Ham, would he? He would have been picked up by Man City's or Barcelona's or Real Madrid. So, to call him a world-class player, you've got to take it over a bit of longevity as well, I think. But that season, Payet is one of the most amazing players I've ever seen.
Anthony, sometimes I don't know where your brain goes.
I don't know, Anthony. Love it. I love Where's Anthony? He's in the southwest, is he, Anthony? Great accent, yeah. Got great accent.
Yeah, I think he's in Bristol.
Bristol, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his accent, man. It's brilliant. But yeah, the birds are quiet this morning, guys. I will say that. You're not hearing them, are you?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
They're very, very quiet this morning.
Colin, one of these teams would be Fabianski, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, Williamson. Somerville left, Alvarez, Dallaire, Guilherme, right midfield, Antonio and Bowen up front for Sunday's game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Guilherme's going to get a look in, Colin. But
Trinity,
no, I think nothing, to be honest.
Virgil van Dijk, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, all good shout.
Yeah.
I would not agree with Virgil van Dijk. I don't think he's well I don't think he's well classed anymore. Too many faux pas in him. Far too many.
I know, mate. I'd still class him up there. I mean, we've got to remember that. You remember that injury he had, Gazer, when Pickford assassinated him. He's not probably been as good since that, but fucking hell, man. Pickford should have been arrested after that. But he did, yeah, Trini. He did, didn't he? Dawson had him in his pocket, man. Up until the last corner of the game, 10 seconds to go, and old Stones comes up and heads it in. Felt gutted for Wolves, actually. Really gutted.
Yeah. Old man says he thinks that Areola set the tone on Saturday, and we struggled. We certainly did. We certainly did.
Yeah. Even his distribution was shit. Disappointing he was for me. Not that changed the result, because Tottenham basically was a better team and crucified us in the second half. You know what I mean? That don't change up. But I'd like to see him. I've seen it so many times, like, you know, when Everton are getting absolutely battered last season, and Pickford, one of the reasons they survived last year, Everton, is because of Pickford. He'd pull off save after save to get him a point. You know, things like that. I'm not seeing that from Areola. You know, and he was doing that for a little while when he first started getting his game. He was pulling off saves that he weren't meant to. But I'm not now. I'm not seeing anything from him, really. That impressive. Pulls off good save here and there. But it's them ones that, you know, that stop you, win you points. I'm not seeing it. But like I said, I'm not going to knock him too much, because he's got a fucking avalanche coming towards him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, hide that. And that. And go back to the comments. Right, Andrew says Payet and Di Canio were both geniuses, but their personalities were an issue, which is why they never got the big move. True.
Yeah, definitely Di Canio. I'm not sure if Payet had an attitude, but maybe he did early days. Maybe that's why.
Now see, Lawrence, what a great question. What of our players that we've loaned out? Yeah, I think there's definitely one I'd have back, and that's again. No, Kara.
See, this would be a problem for me, Lawrence, right? Because if we're saying all them players we bought, right? All them players we bought, we've loaned out the young players, and we're saying we need to drag one of them back because these ain't working. Jesus. That's admitting to an absolute calamity in the transfer window. Our recruitment. And I've always said, Bud, you live and die by your recruitment. And if we need one of these youngsters to come back to save it, fuck me. What did we buy? What did we buy? If you're talking, you know, Soler, Guido, you know, what were you going to say? They're no good anymore? Fucking full crew. No, that was waste time. Take them. No. God, you really are admitting you fucked it up if we're doing that.
Old man's asking, Souček up top. No, I would say no to that. He's far too useful in the midfield. Yes, he can get in the boxes.
He does spend a bit of time up top anyway, you know. He's further forward than Antonio.
I think just let him play his normal game with Souček. That's when you get the best out of him. You try boxing him into a job, and that's when he struggles. You know, he's like how I would play Paqueta. I would just put him on the pitch like we did with Payet or Di Canio. Just go out and do what you can do. Just go out and do what you do. Do your job. Go and do what you do. I would do that with Sojek, because you'll find him in the right spots at the right time, because that's what he does. That is exactly what he does. You know. James Watson, saying that's why Areola is third choice.
Yeah, James.
Don't trust him.
Yeah, and probably always will be. Yeah, he probably won't ever be the first choice at France, and another keeper will probably over time.
Failed. Kerry was. I'd still have him back.
Yeah.
Gone, yeah, that's right. Yes. Decent. Both great at me. Yeah, I agree with that, Damien. Trinity says in the headers, but not sure about his hold up play. Yeah, I don't. He's strong, but I don't think he's tactically good enough or technically good enough.
Yeah.
Chesty,
no, I never agreed with the likes of Soufal. I think Soufal has been a great signing for us, right? But I did believe it was time to upgrade him. But when people start to blame Soufal for Bowen's lack of form last year, because he had to do so much running back and help defend, I don't agree with that, because I can watch Liverpool every week and watch Mo Salah. Mo Salah he's a World Cup player, right? And you watch him running back, helping out Alexander Arnold. This is Mo Salah, right? One of the best right wings, forwards, whatever you want to call it, in the country. He's back there helping Alexander Arnold out to defend. Yeah. It's not just Bowen that has to do this.
Then you see the opposite effect also, that when Salah's going forward, he's got Alexander Arnold over in front of him, right up his arse.
Or behind it to lay back, or because Alexander puts fucking brilliant balls in the box. But so does Mo Salah. He got a great assistant with it.
Some potential either. Guilherme a chance up front.
No, I've not seen enough of that young lad. I know he's going to be a future star by all accounts. Before, as a young teenager, he's been getting all the plaudits a young player had. But I've not seen enough of him to say whether that'll work or not.
Yeah, Mark is just stating that Ward-Prowse again and Cornet are the only loans, and Zuma thought of. So,
you forget about them things, don't you? Yeah, Prowse is out there again.
Out of those, the one I think is clear and obvious choice for me, but it would be the one that out of all of those that everybody would say no to, is Cornet. I would have him back. I
wouldn't have Cornet selling burgers outside the stadium. I wouldn't even have him doing that. He's fucking dog shit. Ward-Prowse might give you some stability in that midfield. But no, I don't think any of them the answer. And if they are the answer, we have really fucked up with what we bought.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. Someone's got to put their hand up there. At Stein, Lopetegui, Stein's meant to be in charge of all these signings. Who's going to put their hand up to say that we've got all this wrong? Because if it is Stein, fuck me, he's not the Messiah we thought he was, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Because whoever's going to put their hand up, who bought Soler? Who bought Guido? Because these two players look to me, they're not up to it. That's my first impressions. I'm still going to give them time, but I don't see it in them. I really don't. Even though, like, Guido had a good first half against Tottenham. I thought he was good. He covered well. But I'm not seeing enough.
He was getting a lot of the tackles in our final third. In our back third, in our defensive third.
When we were under the pump.
Yeah. Colin said that this is the team that he thinks that Loppy will pick. Areola, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, Todibo, Emerson. Somerville left, Paqueta, Sojek, Alvarez, Bowen right, Antonio up top.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Colin, nothing will change for me. Nothing, and that's probably what you've written there. I don't want to go through it. But nothing will change, but Somerville will come in on the left and Kudus is out. Alvarez might replace Guido.
Yeah.
That's the two shape. I can't see anything else.
Yeah. Well, that's more or less what he's
Man United, again, Man United are hit and miss as well. But going forward, the likes of Rashford and that Anthony, not Anthony, and they've got Hoyland, they've got that Garnacho, they've got pace, man. We're going to have to be, again, on our game at the back. And we're shipping goals. So the fact that we could possibly keep a clean sheet against Man United is unrealistic.
Even on his day, that Mainu's quite a decent little player.
Yeah, I think he's injured, Budge, at the moment.
Oh,
he was injured last weekend. I know that, but I think he's injured.
All right. I mean, I just, you know, I'm just hoping that not only does Lopetegui instill something special in them this week, but I think the players need to step up. It's not all about the coaching staff, you know. The players have got to hold their hands up and, you know, take responsibility as well. So, you know.
Yeah, there's always a bit of both in that. And they did, you know, at Ipswich, them players did step up, you know, but it was Ipswich. But they did play well. Antonio had a good game, you know. Bowen had a good game. Kudus had a good game. And we got the result. These players did step up. Didn't they both represent?
Yeah, they both are right in saying that neither of them had a transfer fee attached to them. They both represent shrewd recruitment, but should be used as cover.
Wow.
Mm.
Righto, Damien, is that what you reckon? But they're covered. What squad players? We're bringing these guys just to fill out the squad.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Usual says, watch the One Show tomorrow night on the B. At 7 o'clock. It's what separates West Ham from every team in the Premier League. Well, I won't be watching it because I don't watch anything or listen to anything or read anything that the BBC has got to play. But that's just me, personally. Old man just Paquette needs dropping. At the moment, I don't think we can, not with Kudus out. We're the worst team in the division to watch play, says Mark.
Who said that? The worst team in the division?
Mark Pendleton.
Mark. Do you know, Mark, because I watched a few of the games last weekend and all the highlights. And I'll tell you what, you ain't far off it to watch. Maybe Southampton might be worse. But yeah, you're right, Mark. We're not good to watch at all.
Oh man, think Paquette will be the next Anderson. Got a promise.
Well, sort of heading that way, old man, isn't it? It's heading that way. Yeah. But regardless, these players are meant to be able to do a job.
I think not only is Soler...
I don't know at the moment. I'd say Guido was good in that first half.
Yeah.
We picked him in front of Alvarez, or he did.
Yeah. I think not only is Soler backup for Paquette, I think he's also being lined up as a potential replacement. Because if he does get a ban or not, he gets sold, perhaps, you know.
Well, he probably is. I don't know if he's up for it. I've not seen enough out of him to say, yeah, that's a good signing. I can't see that yet.
Off topic, Kieran, but go on, ask, have you heard Money Lies?
Money Lies. I did actually. Expo, I did see it the other day, but I need to go back and see it again. Because I watched it with Kieran, actually. I said, what do you think of this? Because he's into the rap shit. And he likes it. So I said, no, I need to give it a couple more listens. But yeah, I did. I know poor old Ren's had a bit of a setback. He's back in Canada getting treatment for his problems.
Yeah. Anthony, he says that he don't think that Lockie knows his first 11 players.
No, he don't.
Sammy on their show.
He doesn't. Without that, he doesn't.
And I think he quite openly admits that as well.
I just think it's a worry that he doesn't know his best 11. You know what I mean? He's been there 5 months. By now, he should have an idea what it is. And it doesn't seem he does. Like, okay, we'll see. Keep going. He's throwing things in to see what works. And that's what.
Old man said that he's missing the little Spanish gem that Moyes stole. At least he'd run around with pace. I'm assuming you're referring to Pablo Fornals. I agree completely. I mean, I think I miss his smile. Armband, Kieran. He should still be there, and he should have the armband, in my opinion.
Yeah, I miss his smile, man. He's one of them lovable geezers, isn't he? He's just one of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. It does involve Paqueta's family, and it must be playing on his mind. Yeah, exactly right. Potentially good. I like him. Brighton as well. You know? He's only up the road. He's only from up the road to me, Brighton. Literally 25 miles away.
Yeah, he's originally born in Wales, geezer.
Yeah.
Brighton was his sort of base, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Fornals had no pace. No, but he got everywhere.
No,
he got everywhere quickly as well. Maybe not as pacey as someone like Somerville or Kudus or whatever. Excuse me. But he had 90 minutes of running around in him. 90 minutes of it every week. Trini says, I miss Fornals immensely. He was a true hammer. And that is...
Yeah, we love it. It's like about it.
Hammer. You know, he really did get what it was about to be a hammer. And, you know, he really, you know, and yeah, like that. Never forgiven Moyes for selling him. I don't think I will either.
No, but that's sometimes goes there. You just love guys for being, you know, true pros and professionals and likable characters. Like, I always thought that about Gianfranco Zola, and he was at Chelsea. And what's the other boy there? I thought they were just such gentlemen and professional players. Viali. You know what I mean? I just like them because they're just good pros, man, and good people.
And that's why I was so excited when Franco was appointed manager at West Ham.
I went, oh, lovely. I love that. Yeah, I did. I
know it weren't the most successful of periods in West Ham's history, but for me, it was one of the most fun and kind of exciting, really, to be fair, because of the player he was. Yeah, I kind of had a real excitement level about how he would get us to play.
Yeah, you know? It was. Yeah, there was an expectation there because of how great he was as a player. You know?
Yeah. I mean, my brother, he always has said that his favourite player ever in the world of all time is Zola. You know.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
Which is a big thing when you consider the likes of Pele and Maradona and all that lot are in that conversation.
But sometimes when they play for your club, you see them week in, week out and appreciate it more. Because you see it. They would have seen 10 times, 100 times more of Zola than they ever saw of Pele. You're only going to see highlights of Pele, going back. That's all you're going to see. And he was a brilliant player. But when you're watching a player week in, week out, and like you would have done what we did with Payet for that season, and my God, you think, fuck me. I hope people are seeing this because this is, something special. And Zola was there. I think Gianluca Vialli was there. They're just exceptional players that got you off your seat, And you don't even have to be a Chelsea fan to appreciate that.
No, exactly. That's exactly right. But it's really good when when your brother is literally a fucking hero worshipper of the man, and he plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, what a
my
winger.
brother to ball. And then he becomes manager at Chelsea, at West
Fucking
Ham. And I got a little bit of fucking, you know, I'll give him some stick over that, I did. Then
Wow,
Chelsea missed the boat there, look, bruv, and all that. I was going, giving him a bit of stick about
if
it.
we won the league with him, you might have had a lot to say, but we didn't.
You know. Yeah, I think it'd take Pep Guardiola and fucking.
Do you know, one thing I do say, see old Lottie, right? Look, again, I'm still waiting to decide. I'm still two more games I'm going to be giving my real true opinion. But I've tried to watch his press release things. Jesus Christ. I'm not joking. 5 minutes of watching him. If I was just watching him, didn't watch any of the football, just watching him doing his press, I'd sack him for that. I just find him so fucking boring, man.
Yeah, but he's a bit.
You know what I mean? I see that boy. The boy, what's his Santo, where he is at Wolves. You know, he used to be at Wolves, now at Forest. And didn't work out at Tottenham. But when you see him, he's got a smile on his face. He talks sensible. He gives you. He's quite good at that interview. Fucking Lopetegui, man. I feel like cutting my wrists out listening to him. I can't watch it all. I see it the other day. I went, no, I'm not watching this. Yeah. Some managers are likeable through them conferences, them press releases, right, or pre-match stuff. Some people, and you wish them well because of it, you know. But Loppy's like that. I found that with Moyes as well. When he's done his, oh my God, he was. Yeah. I didn't say to him. And I think Loppy's one of them as well. It's just another thing that doesn't help him. If he was good at them conferences, I think you might have a bit more sympathy for him, a little more. But I don't think he is.
I reckon he comes across as a bit condescending towards some of the press as well, you know. They'll ask him a question and he'll just go and look at his interpreter, you know. He's not. Thank you,
Martin. I'm glad it's just not me. It is a load of hopeless diatribe. It's just what he says so much and says nothing, and that doesn't help in his case. You know what I mean? For me, as a fan, well, I'm going, oh, for fuck's sake, this geezer's got the fucking personality of an ant. And he's running West Ham. You know, Jesus Christ.
Good night to Michael. Hope we get them. Well, hopefully, mate.
Cheers, Michael. Let's hope so, eh? Let's hope we have a fucking result.
Zola was never given a chance by Sullivan and Gold when they took over. It's a shame. Absolutely, mate. I think we would have been quite good for us. I really do. I'd still watch a Moyes press conference. Don't say that. Tony won and only fan of Loppy. Oh. If we struggle to understand, how do the players get on when he's on the touchline?
Fucking hope, Andrew. You know.
Bongo thinks he's going to be 4-0 West Ham.
Yeah. I think we've got more chance of seeing the Pope naked.
Yeah, see, Damien's saying the same thing I do. That for good or bad, Lopetegui, I literally can't watch them. His face, that face he does when he acts all confused, he's starting to wind me up. And it just makes him look like he's being condescending. Yeah.
I'm glad it's just not me. I'm glad it's just not me.
Bedfordshire, thank you very much. I did see you earlier on. I might not.
So, Benny.
But thank you for 3 points for the weekend, please. Yeah, we'll do our best, mate. And thank you for joining. 3-1 to West Ham. Yeah, come on, let's have a few of the score predictions. Then.
Don't think you're going to like my prediction.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2-2. It's going to be a Desmond. Mark said 3-0 Man United.
Well, See, I'm leaning towards what Mark's saying here. I think we're going to get 3-1. I thought we'd lose 3-0 against Tottenham. I weren't far of it, but we did score. But they scored bloody 4. I didn't expect to get 4 passes, to be honest, and could have been worse. But that's why I think we're probably. I think it's going to be 3-1 Man United. Now, but if this guy is, really wants to be the West Ham manager for this season and next year, this is sort of game he has to turn it completely round. I don't know how he does it, mate, because I don't know what he's fucking doing. But this is a game for him to do it. I don't know if he can. With Kudus out of the team and Paquetá out of form, he's got a fucking big job on his hands. But Man United, I like that. They can be shit as well. So, you never know.
Randy thinks either 2-1 or 2-0 to Man United. Usual said 3-0 to us.
Go, that's what we want to see.
James
I
Bond
can't say that.
Moyes out.
Fuck it up. Get him out.
Yeah. Right. Well, look, we've been going for about an hour and a half almost, so we'll start saying our goodbyes. Trevor Booking would have been great. Yeah. He did a great job in 2003. He was impressed and hoped he would take it on. Yeah. And Randy hopes he's wrong. Okay, well, look, we're going to call it a night now. I can't see where it is, Jerry. And we will see you at the same time next week, 10 o'clock or 7 a.m. in Brisbane. And until then, take care, stay safe, come on, you iron.
Take it easy, lads.
Never fucking stopped you before, come on.
Hello, I am Lucas Mateta. I'm very happy to be here. Come on, you guys.